This is something else. Oh shit, my helmet nearly flew off. Check it. 2023 Ducati Streetfighter V4S takes on the 2023 BMW M1000r and a 22 Aprilia Tuono V4 factory. Here they are. This is part 3 in my hyper naked battle, and today really we're focusing on the Ducati and the Beamer. The day has finally come to settle this debate once and for all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to back-to-back these 3 bikes all day today. Same day, same conditions, same road. And we're going to make some observations. We're going to compare these bikes across about 15 criterium to determine who the hyper-naked heavyweight champion of the world really is. And at the moment, for those of you who've watched my videos in the past, you'll know that this bike, the BMW, has beaten the Tuono, and recently I back-to-backed it with the Super Duke 1290R and it beat that too. So it's the reigning champ, but today it faces its stiffest competition yet, the Ducati. So there's only one way to settle this, and that's to get going. So join me for this epic hyper-naked battle. Let's go, Ducati first. Okay, it's time for the filler-up ability test. First thing I'm going to say is, I don't know if there's a fuel gauge on here. If there is, I can't see it. I've looked everywhere. I've looked at different menus, different screen settings. I can't see it. I'm sure there's one. There has to be Ducati. Has to be, but I can't see it. So if there's not, that's shite. If there is, I'm an idiot. It's one or the other. I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments. It's either shite or I'm an idiot. You tell me. Anyway, as you know, I suffer from petrol Bowser anxiety, and this is a big deal for me, this stuff. Oh yeah, no, that's right. Now this is a big deal for me, this stuff. Let's see how she goes. Oh, neutral, come on. Okay. Side stand's a little tricky. Okie dokie. I like the fact that it's key and key. That's just so easy. No fluffing around with your pockets. That's actually a bona fide bonus right there. And she goes full throttle 98. Let's see how she runs. A little bit of spillage, probably my fault. She passes the filler-up ability test, no problem. Okay, there we are. It's the day, and first thing I want to talk about is riding position. It's actually a fairly low bike, particularly compared to the Super Duke, which I found quite high. I reckon it's a little lower than the Tuono and the Beamer. Actually, it feels that to me. So yeah, if you're a shorty, and you'll have no problem. The width to the reach to the bars is perfect. It's just perfect. Now I'm 6'4", I suppose slightly longer arms, but it's just perfect. The bar width, perfect. Love it. The width of the tank and the way your legs grip the tank, I reckon it's the best feeling bike I've been on in ages. It just feels great. So big plus for riding position. The leg tuck is quite acute. It is more acute than any of the other competitors, and I think that would mean on a longer ride you would probably get sore. But on the short stuff and the stuff this bike's designed for, no problem. Really sporty, but I'm not getting a lot of weight on my wrists. Actually, I'm not getting any vibrations or weight on the wrists. It's It's easy as you like, and the seat is firm, but not as firm as the Beamer. Not as good as the Tuono's, but it's firm without being ridiculous. You could probably live with it. You probably would not need to change it out, unlike the BMW. So there you go. Riding position is very, very good. Just probably a little cramped for long distance. Look, the mirrors controls TFT Mirrors Are Awesome. They don't vibrate at all. They are easy to move. Good quality. You can see perfectly clearly. No sweat. Love them. Controls. Look, the resounding feature of the controls on the Streetfighter is simplicity, which I like. They're really super simple. There's not much going on. In fact, so not much going on that when you hit the heated grip switch, nothing happens. Nothing lights up on the dash, and there's no heat. Maybe it's an option you have to option up, like the KTM. I don't know. Either that, or I'm a novice. Someone will tell me. If though it's on and I can't feel it, well, it's useless. But look, back to the controls. They're really simple, so you don't have to read the manual to use them, and I like that. The downside to the simplicity is that I don't think this bike is as configurable as its competitors. Okay, it's easy to configure, and like the Tuono, you can change your sort of traction control, etc. on the fly fairly easily. But it doesn't appear to have the same level of flexibility. For example, the BMW's got so many different power modes and race pro settings, etc. This machine doesn't appear to have that same level. TFT is excellent, as you can see, a modern, a sharp TFT with lots of information. Although I can't find a fuel gauge, that doesn't mean it's not there, but even if it is and I can't find it, that's not the most user-friendly, intuitive system, and it's a bit small. It's a bit small. Okay, I reckon they could have just shelled out a little more on a bigger TFT. So look, I think of the bunch, because look, TFTs these days on these, you know, premium products, they're all first class, and you know, you're comparing great systems with each other. This one, I think, because of its size and just some key bits of information I can't find, is probably towards the rear of the pack. However, it's still excellent. Okay, so you wouldn't not buy the bike. Oh, because of that, especially when you get that torque response. Oh. My hands are freezing, by the way. I've got to find out how to operate these heated grips. My hands are freezing. Oh, that shift wasn't good at all. I'm just gonna see if I can get these heated grips going, because my hands are frozen, man. What's going on here? Okay, I've pushed it, I've pulled it, I've zipped it, I've zapped it. We'll see. We will see. My initial feeling in terms of the handling of the bike it's quite sharp. It's probably in between. Oh, there's cyclists everywhere today. Be careful. It's in between the BMW and the Tuono in its handling features. So it's not the most agile or the most stable, but it's in between, and I like that. It's great handling bike. Your turn-in's good, but probably not as good as the BMW, would be my initial feeling. Yeah, I've come out early. There's unfortunately a heap of cyclists. Oh dear, I hope that's not going to impede this ultimate test. And And we all know how grumpy cyclists are. They are grumpy. Grumpy. This machine is a fast bike, but it delivers its power in a more V4 luscious way, which, no surprise. And it's not as sledgehammer as the KTM, but it's progressive. It's more progressive than the KTM. So whereas the KTM does run out a little bit at the margin, this keeps building, and it's it's scary fast. No doubt about it. It's scary fast. Quick shifter's really good. So Ducati's come a long way with its quick shifters in the last few years. The early Panigales were crap. This is a good quick shifter. It's beautiful down. Actually, it's better down than it is up, and the blip is great. So no complaints there. It's probably not quite as consistent as the BMW. BMW is the same experience every time you use the quick shifter, whereas sometimes this one is butter and other times it is not quite as buttery, but it's come a long way. I don't think it's quite as good as the one on the Multistrada, actually. I think that's better again, but we're splitting hairs. It is very good. I did have a bit of a weird downshift back there, you would have seen. So very good quick shifter. It doesn't, the exhaust doesn't burble and fart and pop as much as I thought it would. And I'm in race mode too, so it's fairly tame, but it's a great sounding bike. The guttural low engine note is really good. The mid-corner stability, as I'm going through slightly faster corners, is very good. It's probably not as stable as I thought it would be. It's not. I think the KTM Super Duke has actually got more mid-corner stability. It's about the same as the BMW, I think. The Tuono's got the best mid-corner stability of the bikes. I'm getting a bit of sun glare. Sorry, I can't go that fast because it's early in the morning. I'm getting sun right in my eyes. Can't see. So yeah, the Tuono's got the best mid-corner stability. The KTM surprisingly good, and the BMW and this are probably about the same, but this has got better turn-in than the KTM or the Tuono, but probably not as sharp as the Beamer. So there you go. Suspension is really good. I reckon this suspension is the best of the lot, the best of the pack for road. And I'm in race mode. And for the road, I'd pick this suspension. It is really good, man. It is a standout feature. When you get on this, it's a standout feature. It's so good. You know, it's adjustable, and it is right now. It is so compliant. These roads, they look smooth. They're not. They're quite bumpy, and I'm getting a really nice ride. I've got to slow down. I can't see anything with that sun, so if you're wondering why I'm speeding up and slowing down, that is why. Oh yeah, it's really, this is a wonderful bike. This is a wonderful bike. So yeah, it's not notchy. The throttle is not notchy. It's not on off. It's quite smooth. Which is great, and I'm in the most aggressive throttle setting, and I'm finding it no problem at all. So whether it be, you know, if you're doing slow sort of commuting stuff or this, it's not, you're not going to get fatigue in your wrist. Very few vibrations. So that's now. What about braking? We've got to find I mean, the brakes are good. They're Brembos. They are excellent. The whole road, and you decide to go like that. Oh man. So it's quite cold out. So I won't have huge amounts of grip available, but I will do some braking testing up here. Yeah, it's sort of very, I can't see, it's very, the ability to change direction mid-corner, excellent. It's a real rider's bike, this. It's flickable, it's agile, plenty of power. It's not intimidating. The 1290R was intimidating because of the way it delivered power. This is not. Now off camera, I've had a good look at the throttle, let's just say, on this machine, and don't get me wrong, this can be intimidating. This is scary fast, okay? This bike is super fast, but when you want to just relax and have a spirited ride without scaring the crap out of you, you can. And it's really, really nice and planted. And you've really got to put your body weight over the front of the bike, by the way, when you really open her up, because she does want to get up on the hind leg like a prancing stallion. Prancing Italian stallion. Let's test the brakes. Oh, far out, they're good. Oh yeah, they're really good. They don't have the same initial brake feel as the BMR, but I reckon they might be better. I wouldn't mind betting this will stop in less meterage than the Beamer. The Beamer feels stronger, but I reckon the power after the initial brake bite of these Brembos, wow. Yeah, you can do a stoppie on this, no problem. That was frighteningly strong, those brakes. Excellent. Good to know. And I look, because I haven't done an emergency brake on this yet, that's the first one. I'm going easy as I get to know the motorcycle, especially with tyres that are not scrubbed in. This is brand new, this bike. What's this guy doing? What? Just go single file, dudes. So frustrating, man. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? Just go single file so I can get past you. No. Oh, my hands are frozen, man. Oh, that's disappointing. Disappointing, no heated grips, no fuel gauge. I wonder if it's got cruise control. I don't know if it does or not. I don't think it does. I don't know if it does. I'll have a look in a minute. I know it doesn't have hill holes. So in terms of features, it's definitely... look, it's probably just how you spec it up. I'm sure you can spec it up to have the features you want, but it's... certainly not in the ballpark of the BMW. Oh, check it. Check it. The 2023 Ducati Streetfighter V4S. It is sick. It is really good looking, this bike. I love the red. Fortunately, I don't have sun shining on it at the moment, but it's a beautiful red, and the black is awesome in terms of the decals. It looks so good. The red pops, the paint job pops. I love the seat too with the red accent. Wow, the single side swing arm. It's just gorgeous. It really is. When I first laid eyes on it, just stunning. And those wings don't look ostentatious either. And look at the front. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Love that V-shaped light. It is truly a work of art, as you would expect from the Italian stallions. Obviously, one side of the bike is better looking than the other. The right-hand side with the single swing arm, but gorgeous. Look at it. Great from behind. I love those rear lights. They are my favourite rear lights on any bike on the road. I reckon the Panigali's got them as well, I think. Just so good. Stunning machine. How does it stack up against the rest? Well, it's very different. I'll put them all together for you. You can see them side by side. I love the gold. Oh, the forks, beautiful. How does it stack up? Well, we'll put them together and you can decide, but it's, Jesus, stunning. Let's hear it. Beautiful. Sounds great. You wouldn't put a can on that, I don't reckon. I think they can stay just as she is, stock. Righto, let's get out there and see what the acceleration's like, shall we? I'm actually kind of slightly petrified. Okay, let's go. Okay. So look, one thing I do have to mark the bike down on is turning circle. It's terrible. The Tuono's bad, but this is badderer, more badderer. If you've got a tight garage or narrow roads to U-turn on, yeah, it's challenging. You've probably seen that in the various videos I've done. We're going to find out how this bad Italian accelerates. I've got to say, the more I ride it, the more I enjoy it. It's a really great bike. There is more mid-corner stability than I might have first thought. I've been having a good ride around here, and you can get a lot out of this bike. Like, it is seriously good, really silky smooth and flowing when you want it to be. Then the suspension is just a standout. So good, so confidence inspiring, the suspension really is. Yeah, and you can change direction. Holy shitballs. Oh. Okay, this thing's fast. Really, really fast. I don't even reckon I was wide open then. I don't know. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a weird engine, man. It's a weird engine. Look, I had to be a bit careful there because the sun was in my eyes. I really couldn't see. So, you know, I knew there were no cyclists. So I had a good look at the road. But you're going, anyway, the less said the better. But, oh, far out. Oh man, it's too fast. It's seriously fast bike. It's too fast on the road. On the track would be magical, absolutely magical. It's too fast on the road. Honestly, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And I got some pretty evil looks there from those cyclists. So I dare say they probably heard that. Oh shit! Oh, let's do an emergency brake. Oh, far out. So good. Best brakes. Best brakes, man. They are really good brakes. Oh, I'll tell you what. That's hectic. Oh, shit, man. My helmet nearly flew off. Oh, shit. Oh. 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 Far out. Yeah, okay. No doubt about it, it's fast. And the more you relax on it, the more you get into the flow of it, it's really enjoyable to carve. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Okay, guys, this quick shift is getting quite notchy, I have to say. Just the last few kilometers, I'm just going to make sure my microphone's in, because I'm going, the acceleration is so ridiculous that things just fall out. I've noticed just this morning, as I started riding a bit faster, the quick shifter has not been as good. It's actually really quite notchy. I'm wondering if there's just some kind of adjustment required there. That's not right. Anyway, look, really, let's talk about the engine on this thing. It's wonderful. Like, I'm not a massive fan of this engine in the Panigale, the way it's tuned in the Panigale. I don't. Obviously, it's for a track setting, so it's for the road. I don't like it. In the multi-strata, I love it, and I think I love it in this for this style of riding. It's really good. It's beautiful. Oh man. Oh, so responsive. Look at that. Really good. Yep, it's a ripper. And they've tuned it to perfection for this style of riding. It's not great for commuting. The commuter ability of this bike is not that good. It's definitely passable, but the reason it's not that good is because it is tuned for this. Fast flowing, you know, spirited riding, that's its thing. It is not. Oh yeah, I'm really starting to understand the dynamics and the tip in. Don't want to come across cyclists around here mid-corner. Oh yeah, they've nailed it. And the throttle's got different personalities. You know, if you ease the throttle in, you get the smoothie, creamy, talky bike. If you jam it, you get this monster, and it's really good. They've nailed the engine. It's the really much better version of the V4 than in the Panigale in terms of the way they've tuned it. It's really great for the road. So rock solid engine. I'll have to think about which engine I prefer. But geez, this is going to be hard to beat, I got to tell you, from an engine point of view. The bike's expensive. It's sort of in this trim in the mid to high 30,000s. If you go up to the SP, it's 48,000. By the time you option this up, it'll be a $40,000 bike, I reckon. That's Ducati. Fuel economy, I couldn't really tell you because there's no fuel gauge, and I've filled up before. I didn't know if I needed to. It seems to be reasonably economical. I mean, look, I wouldn't have a clue actually. It's too. I can't really tell because I can't see. There's no gauge. I can't see how the fuel's being consumed, so I can't tell you. Sorry. How does it make you feel? In traffic, on a commute, makes you feel a bit. It's a bit luggy. Okay, you don't feel that good on the way to work, to be honest. Except for the fact that everyone looks at you, going, "Oh my god, that thing's so hot!" And then they look at the bike and say the same thing. Yeah. So look, on the commute, nah, it doesn't make you feel that good. Out here, makes you feel awesome, and it really is the V4 engine that makes you feel awesome. It's fast as you know what. It's absolutely awesome, the engine. It makes you feel great. That's how it makes you feel. It makes you feel great. Agile. I think this is a bike. I mean, literally, you need to own these bikes to truly understand them. That's why 1 hour test rides that you really can't get what you need. I've had this now for 2 days. I'm still learning a lot about it, and just this morning my opinions on it are changing. Yeah, so that's and electronics, I think they must be really good because I'm not noticing them. I noticed the ABS when I did the emergency brake back there, and it was excellent. I've had no rear wheel slippage, unlike the Super Dupe that was slipping and sliding like a slippery slidey slide thing. And so I've had no real scary moments. The electronics are just seamlessly keeping me safe. They're excellent. You know, they're excellent. There's lots of tunability on them there on the fly. I have to say they're excellent, the electronics on this machine. So yeah, a big tick for the electronics, a big tick for the engine. Bit expensive. Don't know about fuel economy. Engine braking, really good, really good. Not quite Goldilocks. I prefer the BMW's engine braking. I think they've nailed that for me, for what I like. But it's good. It's good, and you can control it obviously. But they've got it right. It's a nice engine braking system, and you've got all the controls here on the right. You can access really easily through this menu, and you can do it on the fly. So they've made that really simple. Oh yeah, well, my heart's racing. This bike, it gives you a real buzz. This is a weekend bike. It is a weekend bike. Okay, I reckon the BMW is an everyday bike and a weekend bike. It's an all-rounder. This is a weekend bike. And I feel a bit the same about the Tuono. I've got to ask which is more fun, this or the Tuono. We'll ride the Tuono this afternoon, and I will let you know. Back to back's the best way to do that. But geez, this is fun. Holy smokes, it's great. Really, really good. But this is its element, okay? Not the commute. My commuter review of this, I might have been a bit generous actually. I might have been a bit generous. Because things like turning circle, for example, woeful. Clutch control, not that good. Cold start, cold performance, yeah. So, you know, maybe it was generous. Maybe it was generous, but I'll tell you what, it's great out here. It is friggin' great out here. Oh, so good. Be right back. So nice. Oh yeah, look, I take it back about mid-corner stability. Mid-corner's great. Geez, these modern motorcycles are good, aren't they? All of them. I mean, you sort of look to pick holes in them, but really, they're just so good. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant! I say. That quick shifter's behaving a bit better now, but it definitely didn't like. It's funny that I was going quite fast before and didn't like it. I think it depends on throttle opening actually. I reckon it's kind of assessing the, if your throttle's, if you're going fast and you only got a light throttle opening, it doesn't like it. If you're giving it more, it does. So I'm sure there's a perfectly sensible explanation for that. I'm really getting the feel for the turn and the handling, you know, characteristics of this, and I'm really liking it. What a bike. Geez, I'm looking forward to getting on the Beamer and the Aprilia straight after this to truly assess the differences, because I've got lots of opinions, lots of views right now which I could share, but I'm just going to make sure I do this test properly and give you honest, accurate feedback, so you don't have to go out and test ride all these bikes if you are trying to choose between them and you don't have dealerships around you or time. I'm doing it for you from a layman's perspective, punter's perspective. Okay, punter, Australian word for meaning novice, of novice proportions. I love the short shift up through here, it's my thing, but there's lots of cyclists, so be careful. Change direction, so good. Oh, that change of direction was sublime back there. Oh yeah, woo! Short shift, bang, second, good brake, feel. Ah, bugger. Oh, wow! This is something else! Oh, really good. Gee, the tyres are good. I think they're the Diablos. I'll have to check. They are good, because it's not like, it's cold. It's early in the morning. It's cold. Okay, these are not sticky tyre conditions. This bike's I'll tell you. I'll give you the tip. This bike is a bike that you could grow with, I reckon. Like it is. You're going to explore and find out things about this. For if you own it for 3 years, you're going to be learning about it all the time. It's got so much potential. It's got so much all-round capability. You're just going to love it if you buy it. Oh. Yeah, I say. Whew. Sick, love it. What a bike. What a bike this is. Wow, now you're going to see all the footage of that. You will see all the footage of that ride. I'm not going to show you all the footage of these rides. I'm going to do them so I can truly back-to-back them. I'm not going to show all the footage because I've already done it. Plenty of videos on my channel showing full reviews of these, but I'm going to ride them back-to-back so I can truly compare these machines. So now let's see what Germany has got to say about the market that's been laid down by that Italian beast. Oh, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. Okay, there's one last thing to do. Let's take the other Italian stallion for a back-to-back. Let's go. Oh, there you have it. There you have it. That is a wrap. That is a wrap. Well, what a Saturday. Seriously, what a great, enjoyable thing to do, to take these three magnificent motorcycles out for a comprehensive test ride. Oh, I'm pumped. I've been looking forward to this for so long. So let's get into it. Let's start by looking at the criterion by which we're going to judge this this event, this championship, this hyper naked battle. Okay, firstly, look, filler up ability, they're all excellent. I'm going to give Ducati last place though, because I can't find the fuel gauge. Okay, and look, there may well be one there. I couldn't find it, and it sucks, because you want to know, especially on a bike that's got probably mediocre fuel economy. You want to know. So pretty even, but Ducati probably last for that. Seating position, I actually think the Aprilia Tuono's got a slightly better seating position than the Beamer. I like them both. Tuono is more comfortable, but this is probably my favourite for short rides. This would be my favourite seating position. There's something about it, particularly this this tank and the way it feels between my legs. So I really rate the seating position. I reckon for longer rides, these two would be better, but for shorter rides, only because you get a bit cramped up with your lower body. But the seating position for this is really, really good. I love it. Controls, mirrors, TFT. BMW's got the worst mirrors. Ducati's got the best. Tuono in the middle. Controls, I like the Tuono's controls the best, followed by BMW. Ducati last. Very simple controls, like that, but probably too simple. Probably not quite enough adjustability. Good on the fly changes though, but probably just not enough adjustability. And also some of the basic features of the bike, like no cruise control, no heated grips that I could find, no fuel gauge, no heel hold. BMW's got all those things. Tuono's got most of them. So, you know, in terms of features, controls, look, Ducati's probably behind these two, actually, net, including the TFT. These two got a better TFT than this. They're all good, but these two are better than this. This is a bit small, hard to read, not quite as intuitive, but still very good. Commuter ability. Look, the BMW is the best commuter bike by far. I think Ducati's second, and I reckon Tuono's third. Tuono's third because it overheats. Okay, it overheats. It does every time I take it out, even in the cold. But the Ducati's not. Look, when you go back to back, this is not a great commuter bike. Okay, neither is the Tuono actually. Upon reflection, when you compare it to this is by far the best commuter bike by some distance of the three. There's no question. But when you get out of the city into faster flowing stuff, that's when it starts evening up. The quick shifter, definitely BMW's got the best quick shifter in the business. Tuono's okay. It's okay. It's pretty good, but BMW's way better. This is weird, you know. This one at low commuter speed is actually pretty good. And when you're wide open throttle full on, it's pretty good. But when you're caught in the middle between, you know, you're going fast, but you're not wide open, it's actually really clunky. Multistrada's quick shifter is actually quite a lot better than the Streetfighter. So I put the other two bikes, I put the BMW first, the other two kind of on par. Suspension, hands down, the best suspension is on the Ducati. By far. It's not even close. It is exceptional. The confidence that you get from the suspension in this will blow your mind. In fact, it's worth buying this bike for the suspension alone. And the Multistrada's the same. Multistrada's excellent. So, look, BMW's very good, but it's very, very firm. Tuono, just feeling its age a little bit, actually. Just checking the GoPro, these things have a habit of just turning off. So yeah, the Tuono's starting to feel its age when you back to back it with these two. But this suspension, best I've felt on any bike ever. It is awesome and adjustable as well. Acceleration, oh man, I mean, they're all mental, right? They're all mental. The Tuono, well, the 1290R's got the fastest down low acceleration. Tuono probably, you know, low to mid range. This mid to high range. That's super high. BMW super high range. But look, the one that made the one that made me giggle the most is probably the BMW. But I've got to say, this is is awesome. I think it's a tie between the BMW and the Ducati for acceleration. They accelerate differently. This feels more torquey and so has this luscious build-up of V4 torque. This is just a ballistic missile. I can't split it. They both are super fast and give you these this feeling of adrenaline and excitement. Tuono is great too, don't get me wrong. It's really, really good too. But these two are just ballistic, okay? Ballistic. Braking, I'm really surprised by this. The Ducati's got better brakes than the BMW, and I didn't think I'd say that. The BMW's got this great initial brake feel, but this thing's friggin' powerful, man. The braking it's incredible. Best brakes on any bike I've ever ridden by some distance, and that's saying something because the BMW's very, very good. Tuono feeling its age again in the braking department compared to these two modern marvels. So that's braking. Aesthetics. Well, you decide. I mean, they are three very different looking bikes, and I have to say the Streetfighter from some angles is incredible. You look at it and you go, wow. I've got a photograph I'll put on to show. It just looks incredible in the photograph, but in other angles not so good. And I remember that with the Panigale as well. I used to think, gee, from that angle it looks awesome, from that one. So it depends on the angle. Get the right angle. This thing's incredible. I think the BMW looks great from any angle, and the Tuono good too. I think I'm more interested in this one to look at. When I look at the BMW, I just find new things on it. I'm always looking and finding things. This one here, maybe because it's been around longer in terms of the Panigale shape and look, I'm not as interested in, but it's beautiful. For me, it's the BMW. Completely subjective. You'll make your own. Decision. But I like the dark Darth Vader looks, sinister looks of that thing. Sound. Still, the Tuono's got it. That's the best sound. And then if you like inline fours, that's the best sounding inline four. If you like Ducatis, it sounds good too. But definitely Tuono's got the best sound. We're on the topic of sound. We didn't actually check the horn of the. of the Ducati. Now I don't know if you remember, but the horn on this is pathetic. Hang on. Oh, it's so pathetic. Oh, there it is. Pathetic. Horn on this is I don't even know where it is. Better, more deeper. The horn on this is the best. Ducati's got the best horn, and this is big. This is high stakes stuff. You know, you don't want to look like a noggin. You don't want to look like a doofus with a beautiful looking grunty bike and a crap horn. Tuono, definitely the best horn on the Ducati, no question. Engine. Oh, look, the V4 is still the best engine on the Tuono. I think the stuff around the engine, like gearing and chassis and suspension, is starting to let it down a bit. But that's still the best engine. This, though, I'm not a huge fan of the Panigale V4, right? Love the Multistrada V4. And for commuting, I'd love to be able to switch a button and put the Multistrada V4 in this for commuting, and then revert back to this one for Sunday riding. But gee whiz, man, when you're out there in the faster stuff, the engine on this is so good. The way it really is so good. Very different note to the inline four. I can't really split it, but I'll say Tuono first. These two kind of equal second. The economy, look, Tuono's terrible on fuel. BMW's okay. Too early to tell for me for the Ducati. Looks okay, so comparable to the BMW, but the Tuono's awful for fuel economy. Price: Tuono's the cheapest, BMW's the most expensive. This one's in the middle, and if price is a key factor, it's going to really close. It's going to make this a very tight contest. Feels, you feel awesome on this, you feel awesome on that, you feel awesome on that. They all feel great. They all feel great. This one gives you this feeling of just, this kind of flow and this grunt and torque. The Tuono has a bit more seat of the pants, a bit more analog, feels a bit older, and the BMW's a scalpel, just makes you feel like Superman. Yeah, so they make you feel different things. Handling. Tuono Tuono's actually distant third in the stakes. A lot of people have told me maybe I've got to check the settings on the Tuono, the tyres, whatever. Nah, you go back to back on these bikes. The Tuono does feel old, guys. Again, girls, it feels old. Okay, it feels heavier in the steering. Feels old. It's great mid corner, great stability, but it is feeling its age compared to these. This is a scalpel. It's agile. Good corner stability, mid-corner stability, but great agility. That's its standout feature. This is a balance between the two, you know. It's good stability and good agility. Its handling's excellent. The ability to change direction on this blew my mind. It blew my mind. I couldn't believe how quick I could change direction. I think the Ducati might just pip the BMW on handling, you know. I didn't think I was going to say that. I've ridden this for 3,000 kilometres. I've ridden this for 100. I think if I rode this for 3,000 kilometres, I might give it the chocolates. I might give it to the Ducati. It's a great handling bike. Seriously, very, very good. But so close, so close. Electronics, Tuono's the worst. You can feel them working. They intervene a lot. The BMW, you can't really feel them, and you can't feel them on the Ducati either. So a tie for electronics. Engine braking, BMW I like slightly better than the Ducati because it just suits. It's what I want. It's a very personal thing, I think. But nice levels of intervention there. So look, what's my wrap? This is way closer actually than I thought. My Panigale experience. Really, when I got on this, because I didn't really like the Panigale, I have two of them. I didn't expect to like this. And even yesterday when I commuted on this bike, I did my commuter video, I got to the end of the commute thinking, yeah, nah, it's going to be daylight between the BMW and this. But then today, getting out in the faster flowing stuff, this thing's amazing. I could absolutely own this bike. I got asked the question, Tuono or Streetfighter? Streetfighter, guys. Streetfighter, because the Tuono, it needs an update. It's feeling its age. This is a more sharp instrument than the Tuono. I got asked what can you have more fun on. Look, you can have heaps of fun on the Tuono, and it's got such great initial throttle response. But gee, this something super fun about this. For me, it's the Ducati Streetfighter over the Tuono. I'd have more fun on this. And look, I'd rather own this than the Tuono, I have to say. This is a more modern, upgraded bike. But to the title fight, BMW v Streetfighter. Look, the Streetfighter against the BMW out there where I was today is going to be a super close contest. They're both incredible. They both perform incredibly. And I've set the BMW up to my liking of adjusted levers and foot position, all that sort of stuff. I haven't done that on this. It's very close out there, okay? But in here, in and around the city, which is where I do most of my riding, it's no contest. The BMW is the better all-round bike, and as a result, is the reigning and will continue to be the reigning hyper-naked champion of them all. This BMW has set a new benchmark for what is achievable out there in the twisties and in here in the urban lanes. It is the complete package. One caveat: I have Brenshuned this. I didn't have a flat spot on it because it's an Australian bike. I did Brenshune it, and that's improved the throttle, the smoothness of the throttle big time. Okay, and I ride it with direct throttle mode. So when you ride this with direct throttle, it absolutely is every part the equivalent of this in terms of its performance. If you ride this in its normal throttle settings, I think the Ducati might actually pip it. I think it might be a better, more fun experience. But with the direct throttle mode, and I've got a Brenshune to make that smoother, this thing is the best bike on the planet. It's untouchable. What an experience. Thanks to Fraser Motorcycles, Concord, for lending me this wonderful bike. I'm going to make a decision now. I'm probably going to sell the Aprilia. I think it's time to move on. I've had that for a while. It's time to move on. And I may well add the Streetfighter to my garage. I might even look at the SP. Before I do that, I've got to test the BMW against the Triumph, the RS, the Speed Triple RS, or whatever they call it. I've got to test that. So that's coming soon. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've really enjoyed making it. But I have my champion, the BMW M1000r. See you later. I am missing the Streetfighter. I feel like I've just broken up with a girlfriend. I'm missing it already. I really am. I actually am surprised. I didn't think I was gonna have that impact on me. I'm still kind of half expecting that I'll just sort of get over it and forget about it, but I'm not sure that's going to happen.